The crowd gasped. This had never happened before. A royal guard had just walked away from his post, not a slight shift, not a mere twitch. He had stepped forward, breaking formation. People froze. Some lifted their phones, capturing what they believed was an unfolding royal scandal. One woman whispered, "They never move. They never leave." But he had, and what followed would change everything. For over a decade, Ethan Carter had worn the crimson tunic and the iconic bearskin hat. He had faced everything: the endless stares, the whispered dares, the tourists' desperate attempts to make him flinch. But through it all, he remained unshaken. Discipline was his life. Until today. Standing guard at Buckingham Palace, Ethan looked the part of an unbreakable soldier. But inside, he was fighting a battle no one could see. Because today was different. It was the anniversary of the worst day of his life. A year ago, he lost his son. Little Tommy had been his world, curious, bright-eyed, forever asking about the royal guard. Ethan had promised him, "One day I'll bring you here. You'll see me standing tall, just like a real knight." But that day never came. A sudden illness took Tommy before his tiny feet could ever step onto palace grounds. And now, as Ethan stood at attention, in the very place he had dreamed of bringing his son, something inside him cracked. Then he heard it, a child's cry. Ethan's training told him to ignore it, to remain still. But this was different. The sound wasn't playful. It was fearful. From the corner of his eye, he spotted a little boy, no older than 5, climbing the edge of the palace fountain. His mother, juggling a stroller, hadn't seen him. One wrong step, and he would fall, head first onto the stone. Ethan's heart stopped, and then, for the first time in his career, he moved. He ran. The gasps from the crowd faded into the background as his boots thundered against the pavement. Just as the child's foot slipped, Ethan lunged forward, grabbing him mid-air. The boy clung to him, sobbing into his uniform. The mother, turning in horror, collapsed in relief. Ethan looked into the child's tear-filled eyes. For a split second, he saw Tommy. The entire square fell silent. A royal guard had just broken one of the monarchy's most sacred traditions. Ethan stood motionless, still holding the boy, bracing for the consequences. He expected disciplinary action, a demotion, maybe even disgrace. But then something unexpected happened. A single clap, then another, and another. Within moments, the entire crowd erupted into applause. The mother, tears streaming down her face, whispered, "You didn't just save him. You saved me." Ethan swallowed hard, because at that moment he understood. He couldn't save Tommy, but today he had saved someone else's son. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough. Ethan anticipated punishment. Instead, he was summoned to the palace. A senior official stood before him, not with anger, but with respect. "You reminded the world that duty isn't just about standing tall," he said. "It's about knowing when to move." Even the king acknowledged his act of courage. Instead of being dismissed, Ethan became a symbol of honor, of duty, of humanity. And 1 week later, as he resumed his post, something happened that he never expected. A small boy approached him, the same boy he had saved. In his tiny hands was a drawing. It was a picture of a royal guard, not just standing still, but reaching out. "This is you," the boy said softly, "because real heroes don't just stand. They move when it matters." For the first time in years, Ethan felt something in his chest. Peace, because Tommy would have been proud. That day, Ethan Carter became more than a royal guard. He became a father again, even if just for a moment. And sometimes breaking the rules doesn't make you weak. Sometimes it makes you a legend.